What up, fight fans? Main man, made man, back at it with a video. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. Look here, man. I want to take a second. To shine the spotlight because the way things are looking, it looks like my guy's going to be retiring soon. So I want to take a second to give a good shout out to none other than the great Sergio El Maravilla, Gabriel Martinez. Final record at this point in time, 51 wins, 3 losses, 28 knockouts, 2 draws. That's a pretty damn good record, ladies and gentlemen. And needless to say, he fought a litany of competition. Sergio Martinez became the lineal champion, middleweight champion, ladies and gentlemen. Sergio Martinez did not have an easy road in boxing. He was not aligned with all the great powers that be of boxing. No. That wasn't Sergio's thing. He was a real low-key guy. This man from 2009 to roughly 2014, when his last fight, he was phenomenal. I remember when I first heard of him roughly back in 2009 when he got that victory over Kermit Cintron. I'll never forget that fight. And then afterwards he went on to take on Paul Williams, not once but twice. This is at the time when a lot of fighters was avoiding Paul Williams. He fought Paul Williams in that first one that went to a decision that was very controversial. I actually scored the win for Sergio Martinez in the first one. And then in the second fight, it didn't take him long to knock out Paul Williams early on in the fight. I don't know, was that the first, second round? He knocked him down in the first round, knocked him out in the second round. That's how it went. Turned around, fought Kelly Pavlik at that time. Kelly Pavlik was like the hottest thing at that time. You know, he was world champion at the time. Kelly Pavlik was like, he had the WBC title. Man, he had the WBC title, yeah, and I believe the WBO title was on the line in that particular fight as well. He was a 2-time champion. And Sergio Martinez just went in there and just dusted Kelly Pavlik. Dusted him so bad that there was a rematch clause in that fight, ladies and gentlemen. But Kelly Pavlik refused to rematch Sergio Martinez. Wow. The man was great. He decapitated Darren Barker. Right after that, he decapitated Matthew Macklin. I remember those fights. Put that young snot, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in his place. That was the particular fight for those. Now, that was the particular fight that I couldn't have been more prouder of Sergio Martinez, ladies and gentlemen. Because at the time, Julio Cesar Chavez was really, that spoiled brat, during that time. He was very undisciplined. He really thought the fight was going to fall right into his hands. He just really felt he was going to run right over Sergio Martinez. At the time, Sergio Martinez was really aging at that time. I think Sergio was up there in age during that time. When he fought Chavez, that was back in 2012. So that was about 3 years ago. So, yeah, Sergio was about 36, 37 years old, fighting young, strong Chavez Jr. This is when Chavez Jr., if you recall from the All Accesses or 24/7s, that he was eating cereal and wasn't taking the training serious, and it was just bad. And he went in there and schooled that kid for about 12 rounds. Sure, he almost got knocked out in the last round. He started to kind of gas out, and Chavez Jr.'s strength started to kind of overpower Sergio in that 12th round. But Sergio stayed alive, and he won that fight, and he won it by a landslide, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Turned right behind that fight. Had a very, very tough scrap with Martin Murray. Very tough scrap with Martin Murray. I got nothing but respect for this man. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Martin Murray dropped him, right? Yeah, Martin Murray dropped him late in that fight. He got back up, though. The point I'm trying to make, ladies and gentlemen, is that this was also, before I get too far ahead of myself, this dude, man, at one point in time was ranked literally 3rd pound for pound behind Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. During the years of 2010 to 2013, you didn't hear Floyd Mayweather utter the name of Sergio Martinez. During this time, ladies and gentlemen, Sergio Martinez was pretty much fighting at the 154 division. So the fight was definitely possible. Didn't hear him mentioning it. Didn't hear Miguel Cotto reaching out for Sergio Martinez during those years. And then, just like every human, he aged. He got old. Prior to the Cotto fight, he was out of the ring for well over a year, getting surgery done on his knee. His knee started to go bad in that Martin Murray fight. Some people believe that Sergio Martinez possibly wasn't even the same after the Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Some people believe that Chavez Jr. fight took everything out of Sergio Martinez. I kind of agree with that. Sergio Martinez had to really push himself to put down to beat Chavez Jr. And some say that was the one that did him in. That was the fight that pretty much aged Sergio Martinez. Because in the Martin Murray fight, he did not look that good. And he got knocked down in the 8th round. After that fight, he took well over a year off. Then he came back as still world champion, WBC middleweight champion, to fight Miguel Cotto. Now, of course, Miguel Cotto, and through negotiations, handicapped the shit out of my boy Sergio Martinez in that fight. I still have the video. Look at my archives, y'all, and look up that video for that fight. I was so disgusted how Miguel Cotto showed such lack of respect for Sergio Martinez. I was so disgusted how Miguel Cotto handicapped Sergio Martinez. But see, ladies and gentlemen, the thing was, Sergio, at that particular fight, even though those fighters that I just named, those fights we just went through were big fights, they still didn't make Sergio Martinez more so a household name, you know? Whereas he still wanted, though, he at that point in time, he still had never been on pay-per-view, you know. Well, no, the Chavez Jr. fight was his first pay-per-view fight. I take that back. The Chavez Jr. fight was his first pay-per-view fight. So he was just kind of budding into a superstar. But the Miguel Cotto fight just, I don't know. It just showed me how everything was wrong with boxing at that time. How you can really handicap a guy through negotiations. And that's exactly what Miguel Cotto did to Sergio Martinez. I mean, it got to the point where it just got ignorant. It got to the point where there was serious, like, he didn't really want Sergio to wear certain knee braces, man. Knowing Sergio had just came off that knee surgery, he didn't even want him to wear knee braces. Sergio Martinez was the WBC World Middleweight Champion. And Miguel Cotto made him come out first. Take in mind, ladies and gentlemen, during that time, Miguel Cotto, sure, he was the third biggest revenue generator in boxing behind Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. I give you that. But Miguel Cotto was at a very rocky point in his career during that time. He had just came off the win with Rodriguez, who was a lower tier fighter. But he had just also suffered the loss to Austin Trout and as well as Floyd Mayweather. And Miguel Cotto was at a point in his career where he was really pondering retirement. That Rodriguez fight really built his confidence back up. And then he got put in there and he handicapped Sergio Martinez. So he was not the star Miguel Cotto at that particular time. I vouch heavily for Sergio to walk away from that fight. I really did. I vouched for him to walk away from that fight because it just, for one, he wasn't physically prepared, and for two, he just was utterly disrespected all around the board of that fight. If that was a healthy Sergio Martinez, ladies and gentlemen, I don't usually talk like this, but if my guy was healthy in that fight, he would have spanked Cotto's ass, man. I don't care what nobody says. Cotto has never seen a monster like that. Hell, Floyd Mayweather had never seen a monster like Sergio Martinez. You can add Sergio Martinez to the list of fighters that Floyd ducked. Honestly. And then once Sergio lost to Cotto, of course, we had Floyd coming out and they were like, oh, people wanted me to fight him? I mean, come on, man. A lot of fighters utterly have disrespected Sergio Martinez, which leads to my question. Great of a career Sergio has had. He had no amateur experience. He got a late start in boxing, ladies and gentlemen. He started out at like 20-something years old. He got shafted by his own countrymen at one point in time. He had a rough road in boxing, finally reaching superstardom at the end of his career. So the question has to be asked. Since I have never seen a lot of boxers give him the props that I think he deserves. And he didn't reach household name status the way I thought he deserved. So the question has to beg itself, will Sergio Martinez make it to the Hall of Fame? Does Sergio Martinez deserve to go to the Hall of Fame? In my opinion, the answer is yes. He was lineal champion, ladies and gentlemen, from 2010 to 2014. All right? No one can beat him from those years. He took on big names. Names that are big today. That's for sure. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Miguel Cotto, he's world champion now. He has Sergio Martinez's belt. And the fucked up part about it is that Cotto fought Martinez at a catch weight and took the 160 belt off. Cotto is in a championship fight defending himself against Daniel Gill upcoming this Saturday. For the 160-pound title, he's fighting at a 157-pound catch weight. So, like I asked, the question begs itself. Does Sergio Martinez make it into the Hall of Fame, ladies and gentlemen? I think the answer is definitely yes. And for anyone who says no, put it in my comment section and give me an explanation. Don't give me a random no and don't give me no reason. Don't even give me a random yes and not give me a reason. Tell me why. But Elmer Avila needs to be remembered, ladies and gentlemen. And most importantly, he needs to be respected. Until the next video, it's your main man, Made Man. I see y'all there. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget I'm on Twitter at MadeMan511. And I'm also on Facebook at MainMan Made Man. Sergio Martinez, my dude. Peace out.